feel like it. So basically he was manipulating my vulnerability. Because he knew how I felt. He knew I didn't want to go. Because the system's telling him how to treat me. The system knows how I feel. And they get him to treat me contradictorily. They get him to contradict how I'm feeling. Because if I'm feeling shit, then they get him to want to do something great. You know what I mean? To make a fool of me. Like he knew I'm feeling shit, so they got him to want to take me to the pub and go out and hang out with people when I didn't feel like it. That's what they were all doing, manipulating my vulnerability all this time, the whole lot of them. I couldn't believe it when I found it out. You know how shit that makes you feel. Makes you feel like an arsehole. And that's what they were making an arsehole of me. They were making an arsehole of me. He was making me wait all the time, Craig. He was always talking about his workmates and his workmates being in competition with him. He was lying. He was just surrounding me with drama and nagging me. They were doing that deliberately. All of them surrounded me with drama. He was calling me a dog to my face. He was saying, "Who's that? Who's that?" When this girl crossed the road, when there was a car there, he's like, "Who's that?" And that's what I say to my dog. I realized in this last year that's what he was doing. He was calling me a dog. He was always taking me where there's cameras. And the one time he shook his head like that, which is relative to Hailey Miles, because I guarantee that they've got video footage of me and Hailey, what happened that night. Because that's the only place I can get where Craig gets that from, with his head, saying no. Because people were saying, the system was saying that I don't understand what no means. And apparently my ex-wife said stop and I didn't stop, so that's why they say I'm a rapist. So Craig came there shaking his head like this. So they were seeing if I wanted to know if that means no. He's also Merv Thelmas' mate. They both came to meet me one time there when they were doing a drug deal. He came to pick up money with his missus and his kid one time in the car. And he actually took my taser off me. I had a taser that BAUMGARTEN gave me for $160 or so. And then Craig borrowed it off me and he didn't give me back. You see, all these people were taking my money and they were aware that the system was treating me as a pedophile and a rapist. They all believed that's what I am. So they were taking my money. And he took my taser off me because he said, I think because he thought he wanted to imply that I owed him money. You see, but they all knew that the system was denying me my jobs and my progression in life. So I didn't owe fucking any of them money. They actually owe me money. Because they were taking my money from when I was working. And I was only getting crappy jobs here and there. Because the system denied all my construction and all my good jobs because of Hailey Miles, Mervy and Sharlene saying that I'm a rapist. They all knew what was going on. He treated me as a pervert, a pedophile and a rapist. Craig HECTOR. BAUMGARTEN, Craig's mate. They were selling drugs together. He was trafficking drugs from Indonesia. I met him in 2012 at FMG. He was selling drugs from his mum's house in South Perth. He was showing me upskirt shots of prostitutes that he was going to root in Indonesia. He was basically calling me a pervert because I had upskirt shots of famous actresses and that on my phone. That was from the internet, from one night when I just came across images on the internet. And I had those kind of photos. I was curiously looking at them. So he knows about that. And basically he was calling me a perv because he thought that's what I like to do, is take upskirt shots of people. And that's bullshit. He was calling me an ass rapist and bullying me about it for my ex-wife and Sharlene because he gave me all this gaping porn. Disgusting porn. He was selling drugs on site at FMG. There was also two guys at his house one time, strange guys that I didn't know. They looked suspicious to me. Same like that happened at Nick's house. We were always sitting in front of the TV. People were looking at me through the TV at these people's houses. And they're making a fool of me. He was clicking the mouse fast one time, asking me, how do I do this and how do I do that? And I was looking at the TV. And he wouldn't wait, he just kept clicking. And I realized he was making an arsehole of me. Just fucking making a fool of me, mate. You know how that makes me feel? Knowing that all these fucking years, all my so-called mates, these fucking drug dealers, they're all making a fool of me. And manipulating my vulnerability, yeah? Waiting till I'm dabbling in drugs and feeling shit, and then making a fool of me. You know how that makes me feel? What would you do if you found that out? And how would that make you feel? He gave me all these snippets of porn. They were all just video clips of movies, porno movies. And he gave me a whole bunch of them just to get me anxious about looking at porn. But there was no porn. They were all just 30-second video clips. He was making me anxious. It's very important. This is a big part of the game that the system's been doing to me. They've been basically trying to make me... They were trying to get me addicted to drugs and make me act like a druggie. Make me anxious. And move sporadically and look confused. They were all part of this game, these dealers. Trying to change my character and the nature of my person. He was always talking about dramas with his missus and his kids. Always, oh, my missus did this, she's using my kid as a tool and she doesn't want to come to Australia, blah, blah, blah. They're all living well now, yeah, in Australia. He's working, he's got his own business. This is a fucking drug dealer. Trafficking from Indonesia. But he was lying, he didn't have no dramas with his missus and kids. They were just surrounding me with drama. He took me to the Heat nightclub one time. Again, like Craig, he was just manipulating my vulnerability because he knew I didn't feel like going out anywhere. So he took me to the Heat nightclub and we waited in the car park. So he was making me anxious. Because I had dabbled and I was feeling a bit shit. So he's making me wait in the car park. He's calling Craig up. We're going to go into the club. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. He was just making me anxious and making me feel something, you know, feel crap. You know what I'm saying? Making me feel inferior. Carrying on like they're superior or something. Big deals. He took me to the Turkish kebab kitchen. The Turkish kitchen in Vic Park. He took me there because the system knows. I've never told that story to anyone about Sarah telling me that Errol raped her. I've never told anyone that in my life. The system has been listening to me through technology and listening to my personal business and spying on me. And Rob took me to the Turkish kitchen because they were basically telling me that they know about that. Because my ex-missus accused me of being a rapist. Sarah accused Errol of being a rapist to me. She told me that. I've never told anybody these stories. But Rob, the drug dealer, was taking me to the Turkish kitchen because of these stories. How the fuck does he know? The system was getting him to take me there. They were all metaphorically playing out my personal situations in my real life. It's all relative to my business. That's why he took me to the Turkish kitchen. That's why we went there. He was talking about burglaries that he had done. That was relative to my business. And armed robbery that my brother had done. Very long time ago. He was telling me that he took a guy's car because this guy owed him money. Again, that was relative to my personal business when we were in Sydney. He played dumb at the casino. He took me to the casino once. And they just wanted me to lose my money. And I didn't have no money, really. I didn't want to spend money at the casino. They fucking took me to the casino so I can lose my money. And then I asked him to bet for me and he played dumb with me. Even the dealer at the table played dumb. And he just wanted me to lose my money. This is supposed to be my friend. He gave me an album in 2013 called Denny's Progression. In this last year, after I found out all of this and told you the story of mine, he gave me that album. It actually means denies progression. He's part of the system denying my progression in life. They took away all my jobs, my construction jobs, my high-paying jobs, and I got shutdowns here and there. The system was denying me progression because they had a personal vendetta out against me, because they say I'm a rapist for my ex-wife and Sharlene, and getting my cousin pregnant, assaulting my cousin, sexually assaulting my cousin or something like that. So the system had a personal vendetta out against me, and Rob was part of it. All these dealers were part of the system denying my progression. The album on my iPod he gave me was called Denies Progression. So they knew what's going on, that I'm getting denied my high-paying jobs. I should have been on Gorgon that time. And they fucking taking my money for drugs. Him, Craig, Nick, all of them. And they all treating me as a pedophile and a rapist. And treating me with impunity. Manipulating my vulnerability, assassinating my character, defamation of my character, slandering my name. Just plain out bullying me. All these motherfuckers are drug dealers that are acting superior to me. And I haven't done anything. And they all getting away with this shit. The system is watching me, every move I make with these people. And they getting away with it. And they've still got away with it today. Can you believe that? Denies progression. He fucking knew this in 2013. And they were treating me. I was feeling bad because I owed him a little bit of money. They made me feel like a shit friend. But they were treating me so fucking bad with impunity. They made me feel like a shit friend because I owed him a little bit of money. And they were taking my money on purpose and they were denying my progression. They were part of it and they knew. And I was feeling bad. And they were a bunch of shit friends. He was putting up fences one time, yeah, and that was only basically calling me a pervert because they thought I jumped fences. They're trying to say I jump fences and look at women. And now he's fucking laying concrete. This concrete thing, there's another story I've got to tell you. It's about hardening up, you know, laying concrete. It's an Aussie thing. Like you say, harden the fuck up. You want a cup of concrete, mate? It means harden up. Now he's got a business laying concrete. Everything's funny to these motherfuckers. I've lost my career, my kids, my quality of life, my future investments for myself and my kids, my houses, cars, fucking everything. My family and my friends. And all these motherfuckers still progressing in their lives. All these drug dealers. He wanted me to burn his car about 6 months ago. And he's just lying to me. So before I end this story, I want to tell you something. Now Ken, Kito, Sam and Ben, Rebecca and Luke, they've all disappeared. I don't know where they are. Everyone from Brownlee Towers is gone. They've disappeared, yeah. Nick from Morley. There's a whole brand new highway going through Morley now. There's roadworks and everything by Nick's house. I'll tell you what, the system, wherever these drug dealers are, the system has done roadworks. Basically, so I can forget where these people lived and what went on there. This is what the system has been doing. Ken, Kito, Sam, Ben, Rebecca and Luke have disappeared. Nick, there's a new highway going through Morley, and all around his neighbourhood, the roads have changed, or there's new roads. So there's patches on the roads and new lines and all that. All made to confuse me so I don't remember where they live. Nick's mates, the front of his house is all done different, and there's a new road going past there. John, Rob's mate in South Perth, that house is still the same, but there's different cars there now. John Hill, the Irish guy from the caravan park there, he's no more there, and I'm pretty sure there's also roads that are different there now. Corgi, she used to live up the road, yeah. Her house has been demolished. It's gone. It's no more there. There used to be another house on Berwick Street that I used to talk about. That's been demolished years ago. It's gone. Merv Downer, there's a few new roads, I think they're in Linwood. Craig Hector, I didn't even know where Craig Hector lives. I only found out where he lives last year. In Winthrop somewhere. Nice big fucking house. Still progressing in his life. He hasn't been touched by the system. He hasn't lost anything. Rob BAUMGARTEN. Down in South Perth, there's a massive new fucking high-rise building there. And there used to be an IGA where his mate John, with the big mansion, used to make me wait. That IGA is gone now. There's a big mansion next to Rob's house. The roads have all changed. Brand new roads. This is all the places I've been to, drug dealers' houses here. The system's been changing it around so I can forget. Yeah, that's next to Rob's house, Rob's mum's house in South Perth. So all these places that I've been to, but these dealers' houses, the system has put new roads and new buildings there. I'll tell you some more with about the ladies in my life, Renee Cooper, Murphy, Hailey and all of them. That'll be another story. So all these drug dealers, I want to know, why have I lost my career, my houses, my assets, my kids for longer? The system's made it hard for me to see my daughter at the moment. Remember what I said, all these drug dealers were dealing drugs out of their houses, with their kids around and doing drugs in front of their kids, yeah? And the systems, my kids weren't in my life. I was free to do whatever I wanted. I was working and taking my mum's dog for a walk and dabbling a bit. That's what I used to do in my life. My kids weren't in my life. So they were never ever threatened by drugs or bad behavior by me. But the systems made it hard for me to see my kid. I've been in a 2-year court case and nothing's arisen out of it. So I've lost my kids for longer. But all these dealers are fucking dealing around their kids, yeah? So I want to know, why have I lost my career, my houses, my assets, cars, my kids for longer, my family and my friends, and all these dealers prevail in their lives and succeed? That's what I want to know. I've been falsely accused, and based on hearsay, people have judged and punished me as a rapist, a pervert and a pedophile and a criminal. The whole time I've been followed by the system, and not only have they witnessed all of these dealings, they have orchestrated these dealers how to treat me. So they have actually witnessed these events and have done nothing, but I've lost everything based on hearsay. And I don't think that's fair at all. And they all slandered my name, defamation of my character, assassination of my character, oppressed me in my character and my nature, and my life, and my quality of life. They've harassed me and they've bullied me. And I don't think that's fair. And I want to know why they all gotten away with it and I've been bullied and harassed. So that's the story I wanted to elaborate on all these drug dealers. The next story I want to do is prostitutes or escorts. Because the system got them to bully me as well. I'll do it on a separate video. Oh, there's another place Rob took me to in Cannington off William Street, to a guy's house there once.